multiple times rather than being load balanced. We will also learn how to change the state of nodes and pool members through administrator action. Note that this course assumes an intermediate level of TCP/IP networking knowledge. See the course overview module for more details. Lesson 2. Source Address Persistence. After completing this lesson, you will be able to describe the key attributes of source address persistence. Examine profile settings for source address persistence, and be able to associate a source address persistence profile with a virtual server. Source address persistence supports TCP and UDP protocols and directs client requests to the same server based solely on the client's IP address. The default net mask is /32 or 255.255.255.255. With this mask set, BigIP creates a persistence record for each client that connects to the virtual server. One limitation of source address persistence is that if a group of clients pass through a NAT device before they get to the BigIP, they may all have the same source address. Source address persistence will see them as the same client and send them all to the same pool member. If this group of clients represents a significant percentage of the total number of clients for this virtual server, this can result in uneven distribution of clients across the pool. In this animation, the first client connection is load balanced and then subsequent client requests persist. The net mask can be changed for source address persistence by the administrator. In this example, /24 or 255.255.255.0 is used. Any clients that share the first 3 octets will match the same persistence record and therefore be sent to the same pool member. Using a net mask of /24 allows BigIP to maintain less persistence records and therefore use less BigIP resources. The first client from the 205.229.151.0 network will be load balanced and then persist. Any other clients from the same network will also be sent to the same pool member. However, the same limitation of source address persistence also applies if the BigIP administrator decides to change the net mask. For example, a /24 net mask would not work well if all clients for a particular virtual server came from the internal network of 172.16.20.x or any single Class C network. Bob is glad to hear he can use a net mask with source address persistence. Since all his clients coming from the internet don't have their source address changed by a NAT device, then he won't experience the source address persistence limitation. And he had been thinking that keeping track of every client's IP address would be a lot of work for BigIP. Again, the trade-off for BigIP is managing the number of persistence records while still load balancing clients among pool members. Let's look at the general steps required to create a source address persistence profile. First, expand local traffic from the navigation panel and select Profiles. Select the Persistence tab and then click the Create button or select Create from the flyout menu. In the General Properties section, type the name for the profile you are creating and then select Source Address Affinity from the Type drop-down menu. In the Configuration section, you may want to select the Custom checkbox and change the timeout from its default of 3 minutes. You may also want to change the mask from /32 to something appropriate for your client base and pool member count. Customize the settings for your requirements and click Finished. When creating a virtual server, A persistence profile is assigned in the Resources section of the new Virtual Server screen. Assigning a persistence profile to an existing virtual server is accomplished from the Resources tab. Answer the following quiz questions before continuing.